Hi, everybody. I had entered the Miss Arkansas Senior America pageant, and I thought that I was finished with pageantry. I have been a director more than I was a contestant, but I did direct Mrs. Oklahoma International for 5 years. And at the end of that, I got rid of, or declined. What do you say? I stepped away from my directorship because we had to move overseas. And then I realized that I was getting close to aging out. At 56 is the age. And I thought, oh man, I've never competed in that system before and I love it. I want to see what that's like. So I asked my husband, could I compete? And I did. And it was an incredible experience. It was to see it from the other side, that what my contestants had gone through. And after that was finished, I thought that was it for me. I didn't think I was going to ever compete again, but I still have 2 closets full of pageant wardrobe. So apparently that's, wasn't completely out of my head. So I decided that this time I'm going to do Miss Senior America because I'm old enough to do that. And there weren't a lot of contestants. And I was like, wow, this is something more women should do because it's fun. And I was just going to I found Alycia's podcast because I wanted to win. So I wanted to find all the things I could do to make sure that I would have the best chance to win. And I talked to her on Instagram, and then I came to the Jumpstart, and I joined the academy before the Jumpstart was over, I'm pretty sure, because I thought this is what I want to do. I had already filled out my paperwork when I found Win a Pageant, and I was going to just go. I told Alycia, I said, I'm going to just go there and I'm going to go just do whatever. And then when I win, then I'll work on a legacy project. And she's like, no. You need to do the legacy project first and go with it. So I did. And it's been so incredible because I've had these little bits and pieces over the years of things. And it's like, how I love encouraging women. It's like my favorite thing to do. Being a director for Mrs. International was fun. It was to watch a contestant go from here to here. They gain so much, they grow so much, they don't even see how cool it is, but I did, I saw it all. And so I wanted to do this program that encouraged positive aging, because I have convinced myself that if I just do what I continue to do and continue to work out and all the things that I do, my body's not going to know. I'm not going to know that I'm old. So I went to the pageant and I did amazingly well. I loved my interview. It was the first time that the things I learned in the academy, I was able to direct my whole interview to tell them exactly what I wanted to tell them instead of just randomly talking about whatever and wasting time. And so after that was finished, everything else was great. The last thing I had to do for competition was dance. I love to dance and I nailed it and it was fun. And then I was finished. It was like, I'm hungry. I need to eat. So I wasn't nervous through the whole thing, but I wasn't eating because I was like, somewhere on some level, I must have been nervous anyway. Then when they started the crowning, I just knew it was mine, and it wasn't. I wasn't even the first runner-up, and I was crushed. And it took me a very long time, weeks, to sort through all that. And Alycia helped me, and my coach Nancy helped me. And I wasn't going to compete again. I was like, okay, I am just like, what? I did this very fabulous presentation at this pageant, and I didn't win. Oh my goodness. So I talked to Nancy. I have a call set up with her next week, and we are going to plan my next pageant, which I've chosen for November of 2023. And the reason for that is because I want to go and watch the pageant I'm going to compete in, which is Miss Senior World. I've talked to them a lot on the phone and via email and social media, but I want to actually go and see it. And then I have so many things I want to do with my legacy project, and I can do all these things before I ever go to nationals. I could compete this year at nationals, but it's not enough time. So I'm excited. Nancy told me she took over 400 years, 400 days to win her current title. And I thought, okay, I have over 400 days. And I feel like I only had 2 months from the time I found Alycia until I competed. And I feel like with 400 days, imagine what I can accomplish. I can have it all set in place. So I'm coming from a position of, I've done this. I am a realtor and I have a client. And every time I took her to a house, she would count the stairs. And she would say, because in a couple of years, we're not going to be able to go up these stairs. And this is what motivated me to put this program into place. And we've come up with the name of my legacy project to be the Venturista Voyage. And I think it'll be fun. And I'm super excited about connecting with women all over the state and eventually all over the country to have them be venturistas and fill out their passport and grow old with a positive attitude, because people who age with a positive attitude live 7.5 years longer than other people do. So that's it.
Oh, this is great. You know what, Lauri, what I'm inspired by your message is that, you know, we're fortunate with you that you competed before you finished the academy. Because some women, they complete the academy, their pageant might be a few months. If they're not in a renewal period, then it's like, oh, well, they're kind of like off on their own. And we were able to be with you in that moment when you didn't win and reflect like, okay, God, what is this reason? And we were able to understand it differently because you weren't just alone in a silo doing that. You know, we were able to all sort of contribute like, hey, like, and then when you came out of that, then it was like, okay, now we're on to the new thing. Can you talk a little bit about what that experience was like, knowing you still had additional coaching, knowing you had reflection calls and stuff? Of course, we always go with the expectation we're going to win, the expectation that we'll win. But in this case, you went with that expectation and you didn't even come close. What was that like, just knowing that you had a support system around you? I'm sure there were mixed feelings, but what was it like for you?
So I knew God wanted me there. Like I felt like I really was supposed to be there. And so that was trying to understand, and I've come to that conclusion, but that's a whole different whole different Zoom call, why I was there and what I'm going to gain from it. So once I got past that, and then talking to Nancy, telling her that I've decided I want to do Senior World, and then for her to say that, well, we can make a plan. You know, you have all this time. It's great. We can make a plan. And I'm super excited about that, because I was kind of figuring like, what am I going to even do with the rest of this time? You know, I kind of know what I'm doing and I know which direction I want to go, but having the support of Nancy and you've been great to like direct me and keep me focused on exactly how I want to do it and present it, so that when I get the next opportunity, it's good and there's proof, you know, other than just me.
Yeah, that proof is so important, right?
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about how, you know, because you were like, we came up with our title, and, you know, can you share about, because a lot of people listening, they're like, they have an idea maybe for their legacy project. They're not exactly, it's not 100%, or maybe it is 100%, but they haven't taken action yet. Can you speak a little bit to how we've helped you in the academy with clarity, but also with that, some of the bumps that have come along the way for you as you've been exploring the legacy project?
So this is like my favorite thing to talk about, because Alycia is like this magic. She has like the most incredible mind, and I love to watch her, whether it has to do with me or anybody, because to watch her take your idea and say, well, what about this? And all of a sudden you're like, ooh, that's exactly what I wanted, you know? So I actually had a different title for mine, which I would still love to use, but there may be trademark issues. So I took it to office hours, which I try not to miss. And to put it in, you know, you can bring it to the office hours and Alycia will go over it with you. And so then I love too, because the other people who are there will also contribute to the conversation. So there's more than just you trying to figure out, oh gosh, which way do I get, there's a trademark issue, which way do I go with this? Oh, I don't know what to do. So you have more than one person to help you with it. It's great.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that was actually Tiffany who put the voyage part on the end of it, you know? And then that's what sparked me to be like, "Oh, passports." Like, and then it was like, man, that brainstorming session was like, you originally came with the idea, like, you're like, "Yeah, that's something to do with like the scouts and with that, you know?" And we were like, we just took that idea and just totally ran with it. And in a
It
matter
was
of like
great.
20 minutes, it was like a whole new thing, like
Yep.
just a life of its own.
Yep. It was
Such a
amazing.
cool. Yeah. Oh, I love it. And it is such a great community. And we are so grateful that you are on office hours. I know you are like one of our consistent, we can always count on you to be there. And not, you know, it does matter because it is a community and it matters to have everybody's contribution. And when we see each other week over week, we're able to like be like, oh, you know, we can read each other's labels that much easier too, you know? And you do such a great job contributing in that way too. So we're so happy to have you in the Academy, Lauri, and I can't wait to journey with you along this next step over the next 400 days.
I feel excited about it. Maybe I'll write that. That'll be my title. The next 100 days, the next 400 days.
There you go. There you go. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Lauri. I
You're
appreciate you.
welcome.